So this is our 1973 Volkswagen Beetle. It's got an electrical draw, and every time the parking lights are turned on, we get a little smoke out of the dashboard. She's a 1641 nitrous oxide injected, Hastings carbide rings. I run Shell Rotella 1540 with the sulfur in the oil. It keeps the bearings from hand grenading themselves. This is all the actual information on the vehicle. It seems to be very faded, but basically, like I say, a slightly modified engine. Pretty much stock car with a bunch of fiberglass bolted to it. Fastest I've gotten this car up to is 116 miles an hour. At that point, I was near Bay Street exit on 495, and the wind was actually getting under the front of it and picking the front wheels up off the ground. And I was losing my steering, so I had to back off the throttle. 116 is the fastest I've ever gotten it. That's on this engine. Last fall, the distributed drive let go, and threw the timing completely out of whack, and pounded the lower end out of it pretty good. So we have 1500cc lower end. We put the 88mm pistons and cylinders to the 1500, reset the oil reliefs, and put a thermo-cool oil cooler in it. Brand new carburetor this year to complement the direct nitrous injection. The fuel pump is still bypassed. We have 7.5 pound Ingersoll Rand fuel pump under the chassis, feeding this pig. The stock one's left there as a backup. It was a mechanical failure. I told you the old engine let go. If you VW enthusiasts have any history with losing your distributor drive, good FYI is the fuel pump holds the distributor drive in the case. So if you remove the pump and put a block plate in, be wary that there is a possibility that your distributor drive could ride off the crankshaft. Alright? You're going to make sure that your clamps are tight on the distributor and that your little pinch bolt is definitely pinched, or your distributor does have a possibility of riding out. Now, on the terms of the distributor, we had an SVDA in here, a single vacuum dual advanced, which is basically a half mechanical distributor. The counterweights in the mechanical advance have constantly plagued me, especially with this car. I've done several engines, and the mechanical advances, they're only as good as they can be. My personal opinion. I've seen other people that it works great for. But this is actually a pre-70s SVA distributor, which means that it's just got a vacuum can and it's just got a point plate. Now, I only get about 14 degrees of advance. No, I don't have crazy hill climbing capabilities, but it's steady and stable through its RPM range, which is the most important thing to me. There is no backfires, no hesitations, nothing like that. SVA distributor, yeah, I'll live by it. I'll do it again if I have to. There's the nitrous system. It's a wet set system. It's got a number 20 on the fuel. Oh no, number 20 on the nitrous and number 22 on the fuel. So it's real heavy on the fuel, and it's a couple of steps down on the nitrous. Overall, with the button engaged on top of this stock engine, we'd be getting about 170 horsepower. The transmission's only good for 110. So keep that in mind too, Volkswagen guys. You start putting more than 110 horse to your transmission, you run the risk of sharing pins and breaking gears and such. No, I have not been able to engage the nitrous, nor have I been able to fill the bottle. The kit's here in the back window. The bottle is tilted at a 45-degree angle so that the siphon tube picks up the correct gas mixture. Unfortunately, we do not have a bottle heater or a certified blowdown tube. Basically, without a certified blowdown tube, if this bottle were overcharged or decided to rupture, it would explode the car. It would completely destroy the vehicle. So right now, it can be as flashy as it wants, but unfortunately, it's empty. It's about $80 for the kit, but we're poor over here in Lakeville, and we haven't been able to do anything with it yet. But that's the kit. The blowdown tube will actually go down through the floor when the time comes. 1969 Wolfsburg steering wheel. Came off my 69 Beetle that I never got to finish. Same with the dash cluster. Those are both 1969 pieces. Stereo's half-assed, the tablet's half-assed, but they both work. I got this out of a dumpster this year, believe it or not. Let me see if I can get the... Yeah, I pulled that shift knob out of the trash. Someone actually threw that out, so I figured I'd put that on the car this year. I had the older, regular plastic doohickey knob, and, I don't know, for free, I figured this one would qualify for something a little better. Nitrous arming switch. So the nitrous oxide system is all run through a micro switch on the gas pedal. This is the arming switch. Red light actually popped on, even though the battery's a little low. So it's basically nitrous armed, nitrous disarmed. And between that and going to the back and shutting off the bottle or turning it on, it depends on whether you have a sneaky, super powerful Beetle or not. I don't recommend doing any of this. It's great for you guys to look at, but unless you have blown up at least 4 or 5 of these, understanding what you do to break them, it's very hard to keep them together. And in my honest opinion, if you haven't broken a couple of Volkswagen engines, you don't know what you're in for. All right? It's definitely not a Ford or a Toyota or anything like that. They're all by themselves. This one was actually totaled. We'll go into a little more detail. I don't have any previous images. My bodywork capabilities are only as good as they can be, but prior to me owning it, my cousin owned it, and this whole driver's side was stuffed in all the way to the center post. And yeah, this rear quarter is pretty much all Bondo and fiberglass, and this door is a replacement door. And you can probably see a little bit of a hoopy-doo right here. But, I mean, we pretty much got most of the creases out of it. Again, it was bent in half. This one was almost not savable. Rear fender was destroyed. Rear quarter was destroyed. The door was folded in half. The seat was squished up against the center console. That was all restored in 2009 or 2010. The IROC wheels I put on it this year, they came off a Chevy S10, 2000 era. I figured they complement the car quite well. And the new purple and white paint is less than a year old. We did fudge up the door panels. I bought a small jam gun from Harbor Freight, and the needles decided to fall out of it. And the volume kept changing all the way through the friggin' paint job when I was trying to jam the doors. So, jamming these doors killed me. And they're going to have to get resprayed, but we live and learn, right? We live and learn. And that's about it. I mean, if there's another video, the next video would be tying into the electrical issue. Like I said, it's got a draw and it's got no parking lights. Really driving me nuts, because over here in Massachusetts, police officers like to see all that stuff working. Alright, so catch up with me on my next video if you're interested. Take it easy.